It's something that you've been trying to avoid. And whatever this is that you've been trying to avoid is keeping you like in between two realities. I feel that it is. The decision that you are needing to make will be one that will help you to release stress when it comes to whatever it is that you're stressing about. This could be you stressing about trusting that your hard work will build a stable foundation for your future. And you not remaining in a positive mindset because your thoughts are something that will shape your reality to bring forward the foundation that it is that you're wanting. But you find yourself in between being positive and thinking negatively when it comes to your future. In the next 7 days, you could have some type of financial abundance come in out of nowhere. My right hand itching on top of the number 7 being out here and the financial abundance card coming out. Lately, you could have been feeling like it's a decision that you have to make that, like I said, you have not been making, and you not making this decision is cause you to be in disharmony as well, imbalanced, just due to you feeling like you're not knowing what the outcome is going to be in regards to something. And I feel like this has to do with like a stable foundation that you're trying to build for your future. It could even be things that you've been wanting to manifest that you're worried about. And know that as long as you put that hard work in, you're going to have the payoff and the reward that you're wanting. There's just a need for you to be balanced so that that harmony can come in for you and find yourself in a more nurturing place when it comes to yourself, when it comes to the way that you think about your reality. Be more gentle and patient with yourself. And instead of being so focused on the outcome, just really take time to balance everything within your life. That's family, that's home, that's you even working more on yourself, understanding yourself more. Because it's times where you may have put in some type of personal growth, but this is something that you're not consistent with. what causes you to stress at times is just you wanting the financial abundance and you wanting your life to move in a positive direction and for new opportunities to open up for you so you can have the contentment that you're wanting. And these opportunities that's going to actually bring you contentment, you have to stop when it comes to holding on to stress. Holding on to things that are keeping you from having the contentment, are keeping you from being in a positive mindset instead of going back and forth from feeling positive about your future and feeling unsure. Because as long as you are doing what it is that you should be doing to align yourself with the outcome so that you can receive the manifestations that you are wanting, it's going to happen for you. There's a need for you to release stress and simplify your life. And that's what's going to bring in this balance for you, is by you simplifying your life when it comes to your personal life, your family, and your home. And that's going to bring in that harmony. And just trust that your financial and your material needs are going to be supported. So you don't stress so much over that. And it's an importance around you really putting in the work for yourself. Taking stressors off of your financial situation and focusing more on working on yourself, because that is going to help bring forth that transformation that you're wanting. Because I feel like it would be like you being rewarded for putting the work in on yourself. Because you putting hard work in when it comes to the financial aspect, so that could be you working a lot. But then you're neglecting other areas in your life when it comes to taking care of yourself. Because as long as you are taking care of yourself, you won't have so much of a stressor when it comes to this financial situation that you have going on. Because you're going to be in a positive mindset and you're going to be operating out of a different space where you know that as long as you are doing what it is that you need to do to bring in that balance in your life, and you putting forth the work and also making things simpler, simplifying things in your life, that will bring down the stressors that you have. And you actually really being open to trust that your financial and your material needs are going to be supported. That's when it's like this endless of opportunities come in for you. Because you are surrendering, really. And you're letting go of holding on to the what ifs and trying to figure out things and trying to make sense of how everything is going to play out for you. Instead, you're trusting that you're going to be provided for and that everything is going to work out just fine. Yeah, it really is a need for you to start putting in work when it comes to yourself, working on yourself, on the things that you need to work on. And I'm not sure what it is that you need to work on within yourself, but there's an importance when it comes to that, because you're in balance. And because you're in balance, it's so much worry and stress around one particular area in your life and you're neglecting the whole other because you're worried about your finances. But it's other things that is deeper that you may need to be working on. I wouldn't say worried about, but working on. And healing. Because you could have been neglecting whatever this is for some time now. Because of your energy being put elsewhere. And at this time, you are really being expected to really just have faith and trust that the divine timing of your life and express your true self openly. But that requires you to do some self-reflection. So everything is going to work out in the timely frame that it's supposed to. There's just also a need for you to stay in encouragement when it comes to these manifestations. For you to remind yourself to stay focused and grounded and trust your journey. See, your journey is not to be focused on how I'm going to make this money and how I'm going to do work. No, your journey, the main part of your journey is you working on yourself. Is you figuring out who you are. That's the main part of this journey. And as those things unravel to you and you really come to know who you are, that's when things are going to open up even more. Because, see, a person can have everything from working so much and so hard, but yet they still wouldn't know who they are because they don't put that time in. And I'm not saying everyone, but it's people like that. Where you can put all this work in at a job to have your manifestations come in with all the things that you want. But when it's all said and done, do you know who you are to the core? Do you know what it is more out of life that you want other than working so hard for this abundance? Because then once you get it, then what? Because material things will only make you happy for so long. Then you get tired of something and you want something more. And you want something else and you want something else. That's not how it should be. There's a need for you to let go of these stressors around your finances. Because you are meant to be focusing on the core within who you really are. Because like yesterday's message, this is about really you being in your divine path and allowing for a natural flow and rhythm to unfold in your life. And that's understandable to why it will cause you to have some concerns and worries and become stressed when these ebbs and flows are happening. But there's an importance for you to take away from the idea of what the outcome is going to be. And instead, focus on your personal life as far as in things that you can control. And something that you can control is you working on yourself. That takes for you to do. Like, you have to do the work. No one else can. And this is some work that you've been trying to hold off for so long, or hell, that you have been holding off for so long. And if you want to embrace this change and want to have this positive life change while still trying to build a solid foundation for your future, this is something that you're going to need to be doing. You may have been going through a spiritual awakening, or you had already went through a spiritual awakening, or going through another one. And again, it's because it's things that needs to happen in order for you to be put in position. Because I feel like that all that time of all this hard working and working is over with for you. It's time for newness to come in. It's time for new opportunities to come in for you. Things that will have you feel like you are in content with what it is that you are doing. But it requires you to have some personal growth, because where you're headed, you can't be coming in with stress. Like, you can't be coming in being already stressed, being already unsure, and you have to come in willing to go with the ebbs and flows. Or otherwise, it will still be the outcome of not making a choice, not putting in the work for yourself. And what would be the purpose of you even being initiated in the path that you're supposed to be on if you're not ready? So it's a real importance for you to let go of these stressors and put in the work so that you can learn how to deal when it comes to you feeling stressed in life in certain areas. So that when things do start to happen in your life, you don't put yourself at a standstill, or you don't, because putting yourself at a standstill is you not making a decision. And as I always say, when you don't make a decision, that is really you making a decision. Yeah, most definitely some of you could be going through a spiritual awakening at this time. And this spiritual awakening is going to have you experiencing new beginnings, to where you're going to evolve to the next level of your life. Like I said, it's like being initiated. But this requires you to evolve, because you can't go where you're going being that same person that you already are now, or that you were before. You must shed the old versions of yourself in order to walk into this newness. And this ties into yesterday's message, because this is about, all this is about you shedding layers of yourself. You shedding old ways of yourself, things that no longer serve you, in order for you to evolve into this next level of your life. Because once you do so, that is the only way by you being able to do this is by personal growth. That's the only way. And that personal growth is going to open up so many opportunities for you. And you're going to be so content when it comes to this new you that has evolved. is because you're going to be tapping into other things that you may have never tapped into if you remained stuck and stressing and overworking yourself. You're going to get to the deeper knowing of who you are, what your creativity is, as well as in these positive life changes that you've been wanting. But see, the way that these positive life changes are going to come in is going to happen in a way that you don't see, because you can't comprehend it yet, because you're not in alignment with it fully. You have to put yourself in position and be open to go with the ebbs and the flows, even when it seems like things are looking rocky. I believe I said that in yesterday's reading. Because this is going to bring you the stability, the balance, and it's also going to bring you divine protection as well. Because you are making the decision to accept your path. And it's not going to be easy, but you are going to be divinely protected. You're going to be provided for. And it's going to be worth it. You've been keeping yourself stuck when it comes to not making this decision, because I feel like you already know time and time again that you had to make a decision on what it is that you're going to do. Things could have happened that put you in a position to be like, I'm going to do this, but then you don't do it because of stressing over financial and feeling like you got to put so much work towards this. It's almost as if though, like, just working is a distraction that is keeping you from doing what it is that you are meant to be doing. It's because you have to work so much in order to provide. But if you really trust and take a step and walk out on faith, even when you don't understand, it's going to be worth it. Because you've been putting yourself at a standstill, being indecisive about which way you want to go for some time. And it keep you in a cycle. And as long as you keep putting up in all this hard work that don't lead you anywhere besides the fact that you're able to pay your bills. You know, you're able to buy yourself things. That's okay for some people. But you are meant to be doing something else. Like you have a higher calling on your life. And this has been keeping you stuck. And it's understandable because you have to be able to survive in this world. And that's why I say, especially to people who have children, it's best to figure out what it is that their purpose is early on, so that when they become adults, they don't experience this where you have to pick and choose what it is that you're going to do, because it becomes a bit scary to walk away from something that you know is guaranteed money, to choose a path that you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where to start, and you don't know where it's headed. And this is what has been keeping you complacent to even choosing to fully step into your path. Okay. All these cards that just came out is everything of what I just said. So, yeah, there's a need for you to really take action. Take action towards your divine path. You know that all things will work. Now, when I have to say this, because I feel it in my heart to say, when I say this, and if you know that you're not fully ready, and if you know that you may feel by taking that step, it will have a lot of consequences behind it, and it'll put you in a real, like, messed up position, then that's not who I'm talking to. Because like I said, there's divine protection around this path. So this message is for someone that when you do choose to take action towards stepping into your path, things are going to be working with you and for you. Like I said, it won't be easy. You're going to have new challenges that you didn't have before because you're walking a different path. But there's going to be divine protection. My bad, y'all. Yeah, there's going to be divine protection. You choosing to step out and walk out of the first half of your life, because this is you shedding everything. Where one point you was focused on outcomes, and you're walking away from that because you're trusting the path. So yeah, this message ain't gonna be for everybody, but you know this message is for you if all of this resonates. So that's the message for today, and I will see y'all in the next one.